The goal for this podcast is to better our understanding through conversation. Communication is one of the easiest, yet hardest things to do. Whether that's communication of feelings, thoughts, or opinions. But through communication, new perspectives begin to take place. Throughout the various topics and opinions discussed on this podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and a few laughs to your day. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast. I am Bruce, and I'm here with my man E. What's going on, man?
How you doing, good brother? How you doing?
Good, bro. Good. I'm glad to be back in the seat.
Yes,
you already know, man.
But I feel like mine a hot seat, but I'll take it.
Right. You know what I mean?
Hey, only thing about the hot seat, man, that is worthwhile is the fact that you can feel the heat. I mean, you're still alive. Mm-hmm. So hey,
most definitely, man.
Yes, sir.
Bro, let me. I was reading this book. It's called "The Road Less Traveled" by a guy named Scott Peck, and like the first line in the book was, "Life is difficult." And I'm like, bro, that's so refreshing, bro. Like it's like when you hear that. And as soon as he said that, I had to do something at work, and I was out walking around. A commercial came on for Chili's, and it's like all this food, and it's like a great joyous celebration thing. But you don't never see no my 600-pound life people on the commercials. You know what I'm saying? You don't never see like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like what I'm saying is like all the commercials are like just joyous, like life is amazing, life is great type of thing, and it's like. Reading that was kind of almost like a reset, like a refresher. Like, yo, life is difficult, man. Like, there's some things on this thing where it's like, bro, I always don't have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes this thing, bro, is like, bro, what's going on? You know what I mean?
You know, now you got me thinking, right? You said, life can be challenging. I ain't gonna say difficult. It can be challenging, right? But life is, for most people, is worth it. You know, the life they live is worth it. On the back end, you know, if you were to turn many pages within the book and then you get to the back of the end of the book. Right. And then you're like, yo, the end of this book is solid, man. It's dope. And then, you know, you start flashing those pages back to the left and then you start to uncover a lot of things. The majority of somebody's book or the majority of somebody's life is not filled with negativity. It's not filled with struggle per se. Most people, it's not daunting. Like just like the worst.
Right. Now you say that is true.
Because if you think about that, if that's the majority of somebody's book, a lot of times people book it's not that long. Right. If it's that bad, you know. You don't make it. You don't make it to 20 chapters. Yeah. A lot of time it's like, yo, but it's like we highlight the negativity, right, and we taking the tough times and the challenges and the hardships. They seem like they linger more than what they probably should. You know,
why you think that is?
Because we feel it. We feel it, and it interrupts our happiness, our state of being. Right. You know, otherwise it's almost like you're constantly living on autopilot. You know, you joyous, you invested in smiles, happiness, you know, just, I don't know, like this sweet smelling aroma, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, anything that halts your peace or disturbs your peace, it becomes a problem. Right. And we maximize that problem sometimes.
We do.
You know,
we do, man.
So that's very true. You know, when you said that, I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, okay, is it really that bad, or is it the moments that are challenging? Those moments have such a profound impact on us. Sometimes it reshapes us to become something worse or something better.
Now that you say that, man, that's a great segue because also in the book he says problems don't just go away. If not worked through, they remain forever a barrier to the growth and development of the spirit. Step one in solving a problem is solve your problem of ignoring problems. And I think a lot of times too, when problems come up, sometimes they can be so like you said, they can disrupt your peace, and you don't want to face that, and you ignore it, and the problem just keeps showing up. So it's that much more, you know what I'm saying, devastating because you never worked through it. And I just was thinking about that, man, because I'm like, a lot of life is great, a lot of life is enjoyable, but then you have those problems that pop up. And I think for when he said that you ignore the problem, I think sometimes we or at least I can speak on myself, I've had a habit of ignoring problems and they just resurface, or sometimes they don't resurface, they just resurface at the wrong time.
Another reason with that, man, why do you think that is? Why?
I never dealt with it.
Why? Like ignoring a problem. Let's make it personal. Okay. What about truly understanding when the problem is you? So now it's easy to ignore the problem because it causes for you to be blunt with yourself. Right. Man, it's me, bro. I am the problem. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Everybody at the cookout always having a good time until I come around. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you dealing with self, that becomes something totally different. It is. And it's easy to say, man, nah, I ain't the problem. Man, they the problem. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they shouldn't never piss me off. That's the problem. But again, first of all, you got a short temper. Right. Secondly, nobody can never say nothing to you. Already, those are problems. That's true. Those are problems. So we can ignore, we quick to want to ignore self. You know what I'm saying? The world within. Yeah. And it's like that makes the world of difference. That's true. A world of difference.
That's 100% true, man. With that being said, like, you don't ask the question of what is this trying to teach me? You know what I'm saying? What's this problem trying to teach me right now? Like, why is this showing up? And it could go to the point of where you're looking outward instead of inward. Like you said, like, what did you bring to the table for this problem or this chaos to present itself? And then what can you continue to bring to the table or what solutions can you also bring to the table? You know what I'm saying?
What does it mean to truly be present? What does that mean to truly be present? Because wherever you go,
take it all in. That's what I think.
Take it all in, right? And you take it in stride too. Wherever you go, like a lot of time, man, you go to different places. You go to different places. You see many faces, right? The one thing you will never be able to change is, the perception of others, and you'll never be able to fully change, what truly goes on in certain situations or certain in certain places. You can't truly change everything that goes on in those cities. But the one thing that can always be accounted for is you. Like, that's something like you can become the driving force of calmness. You could be so chill to the point to where you become one of the coolest people in the building, and people gravitate towards you just because you that chill, right?
That's a very good point.
And then you can even become so cool to the point to where people even hate to see you blow the upset, as we say. Right. So they be ready to fight for you, but then you can still be the chillest and the coolest in the building. You say, no, Poppy, no, don't worry about it. Let them have it. Capiche? Right. It's just like that. Right. And that's then they come, hey, boss, you show, hey, let it go. You don't know no better.
That's real.
That signifies power.
It does, man. It really does.
So it's like, I don't mean to do a segue, but
nah, that's real.
I think today's episode, because I've been thinking about this for a long time, man. It's been really and truly, what is power? What is power? Because when we think about power, we think about, we think about the land, what you can own, what you can, what all you have sitting on the land. You know what I'm saying? If you own the land, all of this, we look at this stuff and we call that power. We call dominance. We call that power. That's another definition of power for us. But really and truly, the man that understands how to control his feelings, his emotions, or a woman that control her feelings and emotions and not be so easily persuaded to do this or to do that, that's power.
It really is, man.
That's power. You know, like,
It
think
really
about
is,
that for
though,
a second.
man.
That means you are the walking master key.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go into any environment that may appear to be locked or closed. You're like, nah, locked for who, y'all? Nah, bro. I got the keys.
That's real.
You know, and that's all it takes is you being that like that instrumental figure that comes in and just, hey, you can change things. That's all I'm saying. You can be the change you want to see, or the change other people are afraid of because they don't understand how he get to that point.
Right.
But it starts with the point of you're not easily rattled.
Yeah.
You're not, for the brother that's not, or the sister that's not easily rattled in battle, good luck.
Right.
That's all you say. That's it. Because, like, I mean, like,
They already won.
exactly. You already overthinking it because you mean to tell me this brother here has been in how many battles and no losses?
That's real.
You read the scouting report? Like, what is the scouting report? What you mean we don't know? He's got to have a weakness. She's got to have a weakness. Bruh, all she does, bruh, is she smiles. She smiles. Right before, wait a minute, let me get this right. Right before the KO came, she was smiling. She was smiling.
Ain't that crazy? That's almost scary. You know what I'm saying? To some people that don't understand
It's a
it.
calm before the storm.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to, you can't, like, like, I'm supposed to, I can't even,
That's real.
I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't have words for this. Like, what is this type of person? Now you become a question mark.
That's real, man. Because I'm like, man, as you were speaking, I was like, yo, that's so true. Having that emotional intelligence to be able to, like you said, not easily rattled.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence, because you're right. Chaos is going to come to you, how you respond to it. That's a determining factor because you can't control that. You talked about power, man. We think we got power because we own this many cars, have this much money in the bank account, have this house. What if that all gets stripped from you? Because you don't control it. You don't control the stock market. You don't control the environment. You don't control, you know what I'm saying? So It's like, how do you respond when these things that you have so much attachment to are taken away from you?
Yes.
Or you get more of it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And these are adverse situations that can happen in a blink of an eye. Either you gain more, you can lose more. But, I mean, with the gain portion, sometimes that comes without you even knowing too. Sometimes you can work for something, but then what you thought you was working for, you've done such a great job that now all of a sudden it's multiplied. That's not necessarily what you asked for. You just asked for a little bit of more.
Right.
But now you got,
Plenty.
Plentiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, racks and
now,
racks.
exactly. Abundance. Now you like, but again, the way you decide to deal with that, or when everything has been stripped from you. But do you just sit around? Do you pout all day? Do you cry all day? Do you waste time? Do you sit up there and wonder, okay, now what? Or do you sit around there and understand, you know what? Hey, why not? Why not me? I've always been made for this. I've always been made for this. For the individual that came from a state of hunger, and they've always desired, they've always yearned, they always wanted to do better, right? For those individuals, you can't sit up there and you can't tell me, for those type of individuals, hardships, they're always present.
Always.
They're always present. That becomes a part of their life. That almost becomes a part of their culture. Now, the thing that can change a culture, a thing that can shift everything is the fact that the mentality, although that could become a part of their culture, now the mentality, what type of mentality do you have? Do you have a losing mentality or do you have a winning mentality? Because a championship mindset comes, for a champion, long before a champion can even be claimed, right? Long before they're claimed to fame, they have to go through. They have to go through. They have to, a lot of times they're put through the ringer, right? Sometimes they come exactly. Sometimes they come up short, right?
Right.
But even in the state of them coming up short, they'll show you a flash, and you say, you know what? I seen something special. Look, we just beat that team, but that number is so and so. Something special about him. Mm-hmm. You might want to keep your eye on him. Automatically, even adversity will tell you the truth.
That's a great insight.
Adversity will tell you the truth.
It does, though.
If you ever wondered, the moment we open up our mouth and we say, I wonder.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you think you ready? Listen to the question. Man, you think you ready? You know what, man? That's something that I've been wondering. I wonder.
Right.
Adversity will tell you the truth.
It will.
You think you good, but somebody else out there saying, I think he great. Adversity say, I'll tell you the truth.
That's crazy, E. Hold on, man. We need a moment of silence for that.
Man, look at stop.
We need a moment of silence for that because that was fire. Two things, man, that popped in my head when you said that, man, because a person that like you said is the calm before the storm or calm during the storm, they have a level of understanding just above the average. You know what I mean? A level of understanding about themselves, a level of understanding about the situation, a level of understanding about whatever is on the other side, whether it be a person, place, or thing that's on the other side of the situation. Because to have adversity, let's just say with a person, it's a level of understanding you have to have for yourself and for that person too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because the situation itself is what it is. How you respond, how that other person responded, for you to be able, it's complex sometimes, man, because it's split decisions that you can make. Sometimes it's thinking that you need to take, but it's like, it's a level of understanding that you have to be able to operate in that and not lose yourself. You know what I mean? Because it's places for people that's gonna lost themselves. The grave, the jail, the insanity house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so.
Also, it's funny. We talk about these are the main places that we always talk in, like jail. We talk about, we say jail, right? We say death. Mm-hmm. Those are the main ones we talk about. For people, oftentimes that could become, a resting place for the loss. You look at it and you like, nah. Looking back on it, oh man, it was like, boy, the time was lost. Mm-hmm. But another place also that claim people that's lost a lot of times, and people are often pushed here too, because now they feel like, well, I ain't got nothing else to do, man. I might as well go to the military. That's also a place.
That's very true.
That's also a place. Because a lot of times it's like people now, they just take it in chance. It's like the last, hey, bro, I tried everything else, man. Look, I'm doing this, man, because my mama told me, man, look, if I don't go to college, I better go, I better go to the military. If I don't go to the military, I got to get out of her house.
Now, I agree with that.
All of a sudden, it's like you still lost. You don't know who you are, but you looking and you hoping to find yourself, and that's a place. And it's crazy because all of these places, the one thing all of these places have in common, except for the grave, is you get time to think.
Yeah, man. Plenty
of
time
find
to
yourself.
Think. Plenty of time to think, man. That's something that I think people miss. I think that's something that people really underrepresent is thinking, and we use the term overthinking. Now that I done said it a bunch of times. I don't really think you can overthink a situation. You know what I mean? Possibly you could think too long on a situation. Maybe that's the same thing, but taking time to think, man, is the most powerful thing you can do. That's where the power comes from with a person that's calm. Because they had the time, they spent so much time.
Examined.
Right.
They've already examined. A lot of time, the people that's calm just show a calmness in like the most chaotic situations. It's because they've already examined the multiple possibilities that lie if they chose to handle this like with everybody else. It's like, in that with power also, like leadership, somebody can look the part, of a leader.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, that could truly be your weakest link.
Yeah.
But he just looked the part, or she could look the part. But mentally, they could be fragile.
That's very true.
But then you can find somebody that just that looks timid, that looks fragile physically, and then all of a sudden, man, a situation happens that shakes the foundation of everything. So it turns everything upside down. Now, left is right and right is left, and then up is down and down is up, and no is yes, yes is no. So now it's foolishness, it's chaos. It's just, anarchy. Then all of a sudden you can find this fragile looking individual that you wouldn't even expect them to muster a word.
Right.
And all of a sudden, in the midst of all this foolishness, they open up their mouth and they just yell out, "I've had enough." Now all of a sudden everybody stopped. They looking, who that is, Jimmy?
Right.
Now Jimmy got something to say. But Jimmy never, before that point in time, Jimmy never uttered a word. Or it's like, if Jimmy says something, it's just like you start noticing, you're like, you know what? Every time Jimmy says something, he don't waste words.
Right, he take it all in.
Exactly.
At the moment he quiet, the time that he's quiet, he's probably taking it all in,
examining everything, processing everything. And so when he says something, again, the word has a place.
Right.
And the place is now. The time is now.
That's true, man.
And it's like, man, that's it, man. It's just like power. It's like we look at power and we turn it into this force that's just domineering all the time. This force that's just epic, on this physical level, on this, masculine level all the time. But power doesn't necessarily have to look like that. It doesn't. To be real with you, somebody that's just like true to themselves, man, somebody that's just comfortable with just existing.
Right.
Now understand when I say somebody that's comfortable with just existing. A lot of people not even comfortable in their own skin, so you can't even say they're comfortable existing, because the whole time while they're existing, they're trying to think about things they could change within themselves. So in a sense, they're really not existing. They're trying to find a way to fit out. That's an outfit. Mm-hmm. They having outfits. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole time, the person that's comfortable within themselves, now they might come across as an infant, because a lot of times infants, man, they enjoy their surroundings.
Right.
Matter of fact, they learn how, give an infant enough time, an infant gonna figure out some things.
100%. Fast,
hey, boy,
too.
Look here. Man, I got legs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, if I get to flopping around long enough, man, I can make it places. Mm-hmm. An infant gonna figure things out. They become comfortable within themselves. It's us, the parents, a lot of times that look at the infant. Nah, they need help. I need to do this for them. A lot of times, an infant to figure it out.
100%, man. You said a lot about power, man, and I think power is like, we have a lot of power in ourselves. Like you said, we look at power as this grand thing, and we give a lot of our power away because we don't realize we have power in the way we speak, power in the way we talk to people, power in the way, like I said, power in the way we speak, the way we talk to people, power in the way we think, power in the way we carry ourselves. Like just simple stuff that we do on a daily basis that has so much power in it, right? That we just give away to other people because, like you said, we feel like we're outfits. You know what I'm saying? This person has it more than me. This person has more power than me. This person has more this than me.
And then we become, and it's funny, I don't mean to cut you off. We outsource that power that's within. We outsource it. We are the resource, but we outsource it. We give it to somebody else. Here, you take it and you do whatever you want with it. And a lot of times it's like, man, really that's them vultures, man.
Yeah.
The vultures come around. Well, I gladly take it.
Right.
I gladly take it. Man. You ain't gonna use it.
That's
you might as well go ahead and be like so and so. That's all the world needs is another one. Go ahead. I said, please go. It's like, man,
that's hilarious.
For real.
That's funny though.
We got 1,000 of them. Please, go ahead. Go
Easy
ahead.
Pickens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Yeah, we gonna call you Pickens number 3. Like, hey, come on.
But that's funny though, E, man. But I feel like that's powerful what you said, man, because that makes me think now, sit down and think like, wow, man, like I said, some of these problems that we think we have are really not problems. We just need to sit down and think and see how can we use the power that we have to either create a solution or get to a solution. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, like sometimes we just need to do that sometimes because we spend our time, I feel like, filling it with work. No, and none of these things are necessarily bad. Work, family, other things, and we don't make enough time. I would say that we don't make enough time to think, even if it's just 30 minutes, an hour, whatever we could spare, to just sit down and think about, okay, how can I, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can I get things together? You know what I mean? And or how can I use what I have available to me? But my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right, man. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard this before? Power to the problem.
Mm-mm.
I haven't either. I was just asking. But nah. Have you ever heard power to the solution?
Mm-mm.
Me either. I just made that up. But my point is, we have to start looking at it. Power to the solution.
Right.
Instead of power to the problem. Because we give a lot of power to the problem. We'll let a problem whoop us for days.
We can turn on the news right now, man.
Oh, and they go into yet another problem. Oh, Lord, what we going to do? Is another virus out there? Man, virus is going to continue to be a virus. Like,
bro,
some things not going to change.
That's funny.
But how can we become solution based?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And sometimes the solution is the execution. How can we execute on providing something that's instrumental to the community, to our families. You know, like it could be something small too. Something so small as this here. How can I be the solution to the problem that we have with complaining? Okay, I got it. Maybe I just try for a day. I'm not gonna complain today.
Bro, that's fire, bro.
That's the first. That's how I could be a solution. Just correct my self-correction. If I find myself uttering somebody, how you doing today? You know, I would normally complain right now, but I'm doing okay today.
Power right there.
That's
man.
it.
Power to the solution, man.
That's it.
Bro, that's crazy, man.
That's
crazy.
Like the problems, man, problems are trivial matters, man. They are trivial matters that, to be honest with you, they're not as relevant as they seem. We make them. The problem is the devil. And the devil, we always say, you know, this ain't nothing but the devil. This ain't nothing but the problem.
That's real.
I am nothing but the problem. Let's start there.
That's real, man.
You know what I'm saying? We always talking about the devil, but what about us? We you know what I'm saying?
Man.
We let the devil use us.
And we, like you said, we putting all our power to the problem. We putting our power to the problem.
Exactly. Therefore,
no power to the solution.
And therefore, we giving the devil power.
Man, that's real.
By letting them use us, talking about it ain't nothing but the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's so real. But it go back to like you said with the vultures and stuff like that, because if you misuse it, they know exactly where to put it. And it ain't gonna be the right place.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But guess what? That means we the one for them to the bag.
Right, man.
That's it, man.
Bro, that's so heavy, man. Let me see. I want to be cognizant of your time, man. So we got 5 minutes, man. On this last 5 minutes, man, I want to say such simple concepts, man, that we overlook. I think as humans, man, like we do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? That we like think that we have that grandiosity mindset. You know, in that God complex, to where we forget the simplicity of like life. You know what I mean? Because we're moving about so much. Like I said, the simplicity and the power in thinking, taking time to just think. That's why people go moving more towards meditation, and you hear that pop up more. You know what I mean? But that really just another synonym for thinking.
But see,
taking time to think. Things
it's
like
interesting.
That.
You say that, right?
Right.
But that's the toughest thing for most people to do, meditate. It ain't working.
It really,
because number one, you got too much noise in your head already. You got to clear the noise.
Got to clear the noise, man.
Simplicity. Why do we make simplicity complex? Think about it. Why do we make simplicity complex? Something that's simplistic is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be easy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be easy, yeah.
But we make it complicated.
We do, man.
By a couple words. Oh, it can't be this easy.
Right.
Man, for real, we always looking for the catch.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, it's got to be something to this.
That's real, man. And it's funny because like as you saying this, it's like this is stuff I already knew. You know what I'm saying? As you speaking this, I'm sure you felt the same way. Like, yo, this is stuff I already knew, but we forgotten it. You know, just like how you forget how to be a kid again. Just like you forget, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Because,
you say it's something we already knew.
Yeah.
But maybe we forgotten it. But maybe I'm going to challenge you to think about something else. It's something we already knew, but we don't live it.
Right.
We don't put it into action.
We don't put it into action, man, because like what you say, we go to, it can't be that easy. And we look to this and we just go into this complex thing where, or like, you know how they have those catchphrases and we buying this book or we trying this solution or we trying that. And it's like, it's gotta be complex. It's gotta be complex to fix this. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, if you sit down and you just analyze the situation for a good 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? You'll realize, okay, like you said, I had the power to not complain today. I had the power to do this today. And it's just those little small action steps that'll get you back grounded. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I feel like with doing that, without taking that time, you lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think you lose yourself.
I'm gonna say one last thing and I'm done for the day. I don't know, with this piece of information, I don't know who I'm talking to, but it's most likely somebody. As big as this world is, this is for somebody. So I spoke to a young lady, and a young lady said, she has a goal, right? And a goal is simple. It's a simple goal. You hear these types of goals all the time. And she was like, by June, she's, her class reunion is in June. Right. And she, everybody be, how everybody want to, everybody want to come correct for
Most
the reunion,
man. Most definitely.
And so the young lady, she had said that she had got upset because she had gained a pound like last night. And so I spoke to the young lady and I was like, okay, listen up. I'm like, June, I say, that's doable. Think about it. I said, but what you have to stop doing is you have to stop thinking far out. You thinking about June.
Right.
And you trying to make June come today. You're not going to lose 30 pounds in a day. I said, what you got to do, I said, make smaller goals that'll take you to your larger goal. I said, so what you should do, I said, just think about it like this. I said, hey, if you can lose like, I don't know, I just gave an example. If you can lose about 3 or 4 pounds in a week. So Friday night, that's your checkpoint. Friday night, you go and you check you go and check your weight and see if you obtain that 4 pounds or 3 pounds. If you come up a little short, then now you start getting serious with self and say, okay, now I need to intensify what it is that I'm trying to do. Because obviously I'm not meeting my own criteria. I'm not meeting my own goal. So now you might need to look at going a little harder. Now you might start thinking, okay, I'm going to implement a little fast. I'm not going to eat this particular, meat or this particular bread, whatever, for a week and see where that gets you at. From that point, you start understanding and becoming more in tune with self.
Right.
And from that, you start following that every week. Man, you talking about June, by that time, if you build small goals like that, you'll lose that weight in a matter of no time before
100%.
June.
100%, man.
But again, a lot of times too with goals, we gotta ask ourselves, why are we really doing the goal? Are we doing it just for a reunion, or are we doing this because we want this to become, our way of life?
Right.
Are we doing it for health reasons? It's always easier when we set a goal for ourselves rather than somebody telling you what you have to do now.
True.
Somebody telling you now, hey, look, now you got diabetes. You got to stop eating this. You got now all of a sudden it's like, it's a state of emergency now.
That's a good point, man. Not to prolong this, man, but I do got to say this. It's like, that's funny that you say that because you say it's much easier. Like, I would change that. I would say it's much harder to do it for self versus somebody telling you that you got to do it. Because for me, it's like when I was in the military, when I was told to wake up at a certain time and go work out, I did it. But to make myself wake up at a certain time and make myself go work out, it took much longer to teach myself how to do it because I had to learn I had to learn myself. Okay, what are you actually comfortable doing? What are you actually okay with doing? What are you actually going to stick to? Things like that. Okay, what makes you want to do something? What about this is important to you? Things like that.
Cool. So now I flip this back on this whole conversation again about power. What type of power do you have? Again, you say it's much harder when now you counting on self.
Right.
Who better to go in a fight with than self?
True.
You, of all people, know self.
True.
But guess what? Maybe you're not challenging self the way you need to challenge self. Maybe you're not reaching self the way you need to reach self.
Right.
A lot of times it's about getting that personal with self.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man.
That's it, man.
We don't know ourselves as well as we think we do, and I think we just spend a little bit more time, man. It's an easy process. I mean, it's a step-by-step process.
Man, sometimes we in life, man, we wind up with people, and then people on the outside looking, man, how in the world? Why in the world they together? They don't understand. But the thing that they don't never see, the person that they with, that the other person might not be approving of, that's the person that's challenging them in a way in which nobody else has ever they ain't even challenging themselves like that.
A lot of people ain't used to that, man.
That's it.
We not used to that. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's real, E, man. Like I said, man, I want to be mindful of your time. I appreciate you coming through, bro. I like this conversation, man. That was dope, man. We're gonna put a pin in that. If you like something that we said, man, if you like something that spoke to you, man, anything that you enjoyed about this conversation that we had, give us a like, man. Give us a share. Share it with a fan. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. And tune in every Thursday, man. We have a new episode every Thursday. Check us out on all social media platforms. This is the Real Talk Podcast. Peace.
One moment. Everybody looking for the power move. Find out in this life. Find out what power you have to become the move. You are the move. So your move can create the power. That's what a lot of us think. Whatever the move is, what's the move? Everybody looking for the move. But again, it's your power that generates the move. You know what I'm saying? First of all, Simon says Simon would never be anything without having a name. So it's power in that name, even when you play the game. Simon says. The moment you say Simon says, that's when the power comes in.
Right.
Because Simon said it. What if B said it? What if you said it? You know what I'm saying? That's the power. But what gives you value? What gives you any worth? What gives you any merit? It's the moves that you make. That's the power. On that note, I'm done.
That's it, man. Real talk. We appreciate you giving us a listen. If you like this episode and would like to engage with us or support, reach out through our social media platforms, linked in the description, and tune in every Thursday to check out new episodes. See you next week.